The male hustler is not above cruising in some men's rooms for a prospective customer. Although the risk is great, the payoff is usually worth it. Homosexuals, businessmen looking for fast relief, sailors who can't wait until they get home, or anyone looking for an evening's diversion become the hustler's prey. In large cities, male hustlers cruise night and day. They frequent airports, railroad stations, bus terminals, hotel lobbies, or any place they can come in contact with men. On the other hand, many seemingly average men seek out these places knowing hustlers will approach them.
You may have never heard of Francis Ellie, but if you were watching underground, erotic, grindhouse, and exploitation films in the 1970s, chances are you've run into one of their films. But Francis Ellie wasn't one real person. In fact, Francis Ellie was two people, filmmakers John Amero and Michael Findlay. And their work didn't just push boundaries in erotic film, it also helped shape the golden age of gay erotica. John Amero was born June 12, 1939, in New York City and was raised in Gloucester, Massachusetts. Amero and his older brother were raised by his father and grandparents. As a young man, Amero was a high schooler that was part outdoorsy and part movie lover, more specifically musicals and the grand spectacles packed with 3D and cinescope. But Amero truly became fascinated by all aspects of the movie industry. In 1955, Amero's brother would move to New York City, a move that made him aim for the same. And in 1958, Amero moved to New York and lived with his brother. He quickly and ambitiously got a job in the mailroom at CBS, moving his way up to the editing department. On his spare time, he would head to Times Square, that at the time was littered with grand movie theaters playing everything from mainstream films to exploitation films to porn. Amero would soon leave CBS to work for ABC as a program editor, inserting commercials into films, something that as an inspiring filmmaker and movie lover, he felt guilt over for altering another person's art. In 1963, Amero moved up to the head of program, overseeing 6 people in his department. It was there that he met a shy but film-loving young man with whom he, over time, developed a friendship that would lead to the idea of making an exploitation film.
Jimmy Reed, Kathy's already gone to school. You better hurry or you'll be late.
I'm not going to school today, Mrs. Lewis. I've decided to cut.
After watching the film The Sins of the Suburbs, Amero and Findlay reviewed the film, and while Amero wasn't thrilled with the piece as a whole, he was fascinated that something can be produced outside of Hollywood, have a long theatrical run, and the fact that he can definitely make a better film. They started a company, Amlay Pictures, and shared writing, producing, and directing responsibilities. Their name, Francis Ellie, was a stage name that was created from their middle names as the writing credit for their first film. In 1964, Body of a Female was released. After attaining a distributor, Body of a Female, the little exploitation film that could, went on to have a lucrative run in smaller markets with big returns. Amero had his share of the film bought out by the distributor and went on to form Amero Brothers with his brother, while Findlay and his wife continued to make exploitation films, including the infamous film called Snuff in 1975, known for its genius marketing. A low-budget film was purchased, a new ending was shot, and it was presented as an actual snuff film.
If I buy everything in that bag of yours, will you let me blindfold you and have my way with you?
Everything in my bag? That would make me #1 girl at Yvonne Calling. Miss Erickson will be so proud of me.
Crystal, I don't make baskets, I make suits.
Tony, stand up straight. You people don't seem to understand how important good posture
I don't understand
is.
why I can't do this at my shop. You know how nervous it makes me with all these people here.
Amero would continue to make films with his brother, but would occasionally step away to make erotic gay films under the name Francis Ellie with Findlay, like Kiss Today Goodbye, starring George Payne, Point Me Toward Tomorrow, and Christopher Street Blues.
Monday's helicopter crash at the Pan Am heliport has revived a long-standing community protest against Midtown helicopter service. Last January, Eastside residents and workers tried to keep New York Airways from reopening the airport shuttle service. And today they were back in force in the first demonstration since 5 people died in a freak accident just 2 days ago.
In 1977, Michael Findlay was killed in a helicopter accident on top of the Pan Am building in New York City. The Amero brothers carried Francis Ellie into the later half of the 1970s and into the early 80s. As the golden age was winding down, ushering in the 1980s, Amero took a step back from filmmaking. He would eventually share his story in his memoir, American Ecstasy, My 30-Year Search for a Happy Ending, which I couldn't recommend more as there are more detailed stories not covered here. Ellie's films captured a golden moment when erotic film was part erotic, part experimentation, and part rebellion. Thanks to pioneers like Amero, those stories still got made, and they left a mark both on underground film and gay history. John Amero is alive and well today, and I thank him for his contributions. You've been watching Demystifying Gay Porn. I'm your host, Ike Grande. Demystifying Gay Porn can be found on every podcast directory as well as YouTube. Demystifying Gay Porn is on X, Facebook, Instagram, Substack, Threads. And if you like what you're watching or listening to and want to be a part of the process, head over to patreon.com/demystifying gay porn, where you can support this podcast and YouTube channel, and I can continue making content like you've just enjoyed. As always, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, leave a comment, and let me know what else you'd like me to cover. This is Demystifying Gay Porn. My name is Ike Grande, and if you watch gay porn, I've definitely helped you get off.